Hello, everyone. So my name is Tayne Andrade. I'm here with Sam Hart from Fort Lewis Cycling and Henry York, also from Team Rio Grande Elite Racing. This is us talking through the CU Criterium that took place back in April. Sorry it took us so long to get to this video. Unfortunately, take one, audio got a little messed up, so here we are in the heat of the summer, taking a look back at some, arguably almost even nicer weather, all the way back in April. Um, so yeah, right off the start, you got to watch me struggle to clip in for what felt like probably 30 seconds as we're going. Um, do you guys remember what the wind conditions were? This was the headwind section, right?
Yeah, I think this was a like kind of a cross headwind coming from the right to the left. And this open section on the back was pretty breezy. You wanted to be on the right side of the road because that was the shortest kind of section around that long bend. But the wind kind of pushed everyone to the left.
Yep. So yeah, here we're just going through first lap. I think we've all done pre-ride laps, but fortunately this course is pretty wide open, especially on this first half. But really, really bumpy. The GoPro definitely does not do it justice with whatever stabilization it has now, but pretty much every couple feet, every corner, especially on the second half of the course, there was pretty major bumps. Um, Especially in this corner right up here you either just had to absolutely smash this gutter, or if you were really trying hard, try to pump it right there.
Yeah, I saw a
But
few
kind of
drop chips
regardless,
there.
yeah, they're not surprising. Um, Also, yeah, this is also the fastest part of the course. Not really a climb, but there's definitely a little drop in elevation. That corner was definitely the scariest. You could see that big flash of orange where the potholes were. Um, You'll see quite a few laps. Everyone kind of chooses a different line every time. Um, yeah, so at least from my part, my perspective, I'm just kind of chilling out the back at this point. I rode to the race and I was still kind of getting warmed up into it. Believe Henry, where were you Sam at this point?
I was somewhere in the middle. We had a okay squad here, maybe 4 or 5 riders. We had Tane, Cole, myself, and Gabe. With Gabe being our sprinter and Tane being our strongest rider, looking to make it in the breakaway, and the rest of us trying to set that up for him. How was Fort Lewis looking?
Yeah, I think quite a few of us were up here at the front at the beginning. We just wanted to be
Well, there you
careful
are.
with a break going immediately, because I remember that's what happened in the lower categories earlier on in the day. So just kind of make sure nothing will go super early, and then we'll calm back down a little bit.
Yeah, so early on, I
So
remember Tane and Gabe were up, got towards the front pretty quickly, and we're also trying to monitor the breakaway situation, make sure nothing too concerning got away without a Rio rider in there.
yeah, it was pretty clear pretty early. There was a lot of, I mean, it's pretty common in a lot of the Colorado races, but a lot of really strong guys that are not confident in their ability to sprint. So a lot of people try and get up the road. So we fast forwarded a little bit in the start of the race. You can see up the road, there's a little bit of a split starting to happen. Um, Pace has been super high for those first couple laps. Then right here, I'm on Andrew DeWar's wheel. This is ironically one of the best, even though it was kind of into a headwind, if you could get onto a wheel as the group would sit up, kind of as it got buffeted more by the wind in this open section, it was a really easy spot to move up. I think this is one of the primal guys attacking. Just felt like it was a good time trying to go across. There's a little break up the road. Um, Knowing that this probably isn't going to go anywhere, but there wasn't any Rio guys up there. So one of us needed to cover it. I usually end up being one of the guys that tries to cover some early moves in the race. Um, Honestly, sometimes I just do it just to warm up a bit. Especially knowing some of our guys like Gabe or Henry. try and save a little bit of matches for the end since they're usually kind of the guys that are better in the sprints. Um, but this was a really solid break. The guy that in particular we were watching here was Ian Anderson, this guy right on the back here in the gray jersey. Um, he is absurdly strong, really good track racer, just has has power for days and is really smart racer. Um, Pretty much on all the races, especially all the crits this year, he just wants to get up the road. He has an okay sprint, but his bread and butter is just motoring on a breakaway. Um, yeah, Sam was already in that break. At this point in the season, we knew to watch Sam a little bit. We didn't know the extent to which we knew to watch Sam, though. It's a little bit of foreshadowing. Um, I think that's Jorge Zapata who attacks. Follow him, and at this point, I'm just keeping the momentum moving, just seeing, what's gonna stick. This part of the course, this was a sneaky spot to try and get some time. These trees on the right were giving us pretty good shelter right before we would get buffeted by this wind. So it was a good spot to like kind of give it a dig before just smashing this wind. And you can see the power numbers start to drop. So people definitely brought me back. We don't have the rear facing camera. Um, but I'm sure we're about to see everyone start to come around me in this corner. Do you remember this breakaway, Sam?
Yeah, there was quite a few. It seemed like for the first 15, 20 minutes of this race, there's just constantly two, three, four riders off the front. Someone's chasing pretty hard to get them back. Um, One thing is that what's unique, kind of these like collegiate Colorado races, we had a road race the day before, so everyone in the race kind of knows who's strong and who to watch out for because we just raced each other yesterday.
And who crashed in the dirt because it was
Yeah.
there were a lot of crashes on a slippery dirt course the day before. Some people missing some skin today in this crit.
Yeah, lots of skin
Yeah.
missing yesterday. Ian Anderson, he was the winner yesterday in the road race. So yeah, like you said, everyone knows that he's one of the strongest riders in this group.
Yeah, so Fort Lewis
Yeah,
and Rio
so
were watching Ian and marking his moves, and occasionally you get a group represented with all the strong teams in it, but it's still pretty early, so there's plenty of strong guys in the pack who see a dangerous move and want to bridge up and bring the rest of the group with it.
so we're getting, I don't know, about a third through the race, lap 10 of 30. This is when moves definitely start getting more dangerous. There's definitely a consistent rhythm, especially to the Colorado races, that right around that, as we get closer to that midway point, that's when most moves start to stick. Um, yeah, you can just see the whole swarm. I think that's Cole that's going up the road. I think there's a CU and Fort Lewis guy there. So that's already three of the biggest teams at this point that have someone up there. Um, and we can see, I think it's Michael Watkins that's trying to bring it all back. He was a single rider, but he's another kid that's crazy strong. Um, Sometimes struggles to get into the breaks, so he ends up having to pull some moves like this, just trying to sit on and kind of just keep the gap in check and hoping that other people keep jumping across. Um, yeah, so we're just it's kind of just status quo. Everyone at this point, everyone's just getting more antsy because it's clear that a breakaway is probably going to go on this course. Um, Okay, so here we're sitting on Quentin Lockster wheel from CSU. There's Jonathan from Fort Lewis. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think we're about to bring this break back. If there's one guy all the way up the road, honestly, it might even be Ian. Um, yeah, I decided to go because everyone's sitting up. Bull got brought back. Um, Try and jam it on the right. Try and stay out of the gap, out of the draft. And I think that's Sam right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember kind of trying to bridge up to this gap and me just deciding halfway, it's not worth it. I think it's about to come back. Just a single rider up there. So I just let the group kind of swarm me.
So I got brought back pretty much immediately. For Cyber Abrahamson, the former Natty champ for CU Boulder. He loses the wheel to Michael and Lucas. Definitely a pretty dangerous wheel to lose. It was luckily it didn't go anywhere, but it was definitely a big gamble on Simon's part if he was really willing to let that group of people get up the road. Um, yeah, there's John. I think no, not Jonathan. I think it's Adrian that goes up a little bit. I think he's up ahead. There goes Carson McHugh from CU Boulder, trying to shut this down. They were probably racing for Simon here. Um, yeah, at this point, attacks just start flying left and right. Everyone's just raring to go. It's pretty easy to carry a lot of speed through all these corners. So here we are, just bringing it back. And I believe we're about to see just another counter over the top of this. Yeah, these guys, they don't really want to work together. They're still, I think it's still Ian up the road. Um, yeah, and I take it on the outside, just trying to carry just a slight different bit of momentum. And I don't know, trying to attack maybe innocuously. I think this is where the break finally goes. So instead of standing up to attack, just kind of pinning it at a, decent tempo on the other side of the road, but not making it really obvious that I'm trying to go crazy. A lot of times it's what it can be a better strategy to just what fake an attack off the front.
Yeah, so
Oh
I
yeah,
think
there's
right
Jake.
here, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a group of you and Jake and another guy. I'm
yeah.
mostly with my teammate up in the group. Rest of us Fort Lewis riders are just kind of blocking and making sure nothing else bridges up to that.
Yeah, the Fort Lewis guys were definitely doing a really good job. They were putting a lot of faith in their teammates, pretty justifiably so. Um, yeah, between especially you, Jake, and Adrian, you guys were always just ripping out there every race. So I was pretty hyped to be up there with Jake for once in a break.
Yeah.
Henry, what were you guys doing back in the Peloton right now at this point?
Well, we were represented up there, so we were just kind of marking the dangerous moves for people trying to bridge up or to counterattack if you guys got close. So that was kind of our goal. Cole was holding the back down for us, make sure the back of the peloton didn't go anywhere.
So yeah, here we are. There's Ian, there's Jake. Um, I'm sure both Jake and I had the same thought in our minds, like, oh, it's a good thing Ian's here because this guy will pull it across, pull out this gap. Fast forwarding a little bit, Jorge from CSU, he bridged up to us. We had a pretty good solid group. Um, Honestly, I remember thinking that this was kind of it. We had other than CU, all the big teams are represented. Everyone in the group, they've got a pretty good motor in them. Four of us, it's a good size. Um, so I think all four of us are pretty committed. Um, yeah, doing pretty short pulls. We were all committed, but no one was really willing to put in any crazy effort since we were still trying to pull out this gap. Um, so I say that the group comes up. Um, there's Sam, and then there's Wyatt Gulkey, and they just attack us straight over the top. Um, I still had the momentum, so I was at least trying to follow Wyatt, just trying to keep us in touch. Kind of just assuming that everyone was following us behind. But this ends up being the move, I think. Do you remember what you were seeing, Henry? Shaking your
I was
head.
I was just seeing you do some crazy work up there, just going attack after attack, pretty much doing an interval session in the crit.
That
Remember
is
this?
how I race crit sometimes.
I remember that being pretty obvious for me to attack there. I had a teammate up the road, and the strongest rider in the race, Ian, just did a big effort off the front in the breakaway, and I got a free ride up to it. So I just felt I should attack there, and then Ian wasn't able to get back onto our wheel, but Tayne was. So there's our break of three. That's what ended up sticking.
If I had to guess, I think that Ian thought someone was like the whole group was going to follow. I think
Yeah.
he was trying to gamble on getting like a couple lap break. Um, but that doesn't happen. So, yeah, we skipped through the video. It was really just the three of us rotating through, working really well until 20 laps, 28 laps in, 2 laps to go. Wyatt attacks us. Um, Clearly, I was probably one of the most cooked out of the three of us. I got gapped pretty hard here. But it was pretty clear that Wyatt was the least confident, I think, of the three of us.
Yeah, between the three of us, he was definitely the least confident. He was the first to attack, so that's always a sign that, the one that least wants it to become a sprint. So he's trying to make this effort longer over 2 laps of the attacking and counter-attacking rather than do it all in the last lap.
This was the point where I made, I don't know. I don't even know if it's really a mistake, but I almost attacked over the top of them, but I wasn't confident enough that I could actually hold it for a whole lap. And I don't know. I was pretty sure that Sam, you would have just hopped straight on my wheel.
Yeah, it was a big effort to hold on to Wyatt's wheel, but I definitely had something more, and you were just chasing the win, so I feel like I would have been able to uh, catch Badong. But I was pretty confident in the sprint. As you can see, I was pulling through right there, um, willing to just kind of keep it together. Not pulling super hard, but fast enough that it would be difficult to come over the top of me with any sort of speed.
At this point, I was pretty willing to gamble and just make Wyatt, take us into this last lap since he was the first guy to attack. Um, Especially knowing that coming first in these last couple corners, you had a really good shot of winning the sprint, even if you had a bad sprint. Um, at least attempting to soft pedal through here, just waiting for the next attack to go. Um, just taking it super wide. Wyatt like kind of goes, but it's pretty lackluster at this point. And I think at this point he just kind of commits to pulling us the last lap.
Yeah, and I
Um,
remember around here, they were giving us our time gap every lap, but I don't think we got more than 15, 20 seconds, really. Um, so I'm willing to play the game here if we get caught. I know I have teammates back in the pack that can sprint.
and we had the same thought. We have Henry, we have Gabe. Um, they've just been sitting in the whole race, so they should be all primed and ready for us to get brought back if we are. Was there a big chase, Henry?
No, it was really disconcerted. People, just individual riders trying to attack. CSU tried to chase a little bit, but realized it was kind of hopeless. And instead, were trying to bridge across. They saw that as their only option, I think. And then they set up a pretty cool lead out towards the end as well, but that was just for minor placings.
Um, yeah, so I went here. Um, I don't know, probably maybe a little bit too early, but I really just wanted to be these last couple corners, knowing that it was just really hard to come around. I was pretty confident I could keep the speed high enough to at least stop Sam from getting around me, and I knew Sam got on my wheel pretty instantly. Um, what were you thinking right here, Sam?
Yeah, I think it was a little early. I think if anything, going around that big concrete turn, waiting until there might have been a better bet for you. But yeah, I was able to hop on pretty quickly. Um, Hard to come around here, but I knew if I just carried some speed around this turn, it was wide enough that I could jump around you right at the finish.
I tried to kind of close the door a little bit or like keep it tight around that last corner. Um, yeah, right there. You could hear it in the audio. Sam definitely got me right on the line on the bike throw. It was a pretty solid sprint. This was a good bit of foreshadowing for what CSU road race, and then like 2 weeks after this, when Mr. Sam Hart here pipped Henry on the line. Um,
Yeah. Week later, I
so
think
yeah,
big Fort Lewis performance. It was a team win, but yeah, I was able to get Henry right there.
Yeah, and we'll
yeah.
get that we have a reel up of the finish we'll put on the channel as well for that race. We didn't get the full race though.
Mhm. All right, thanks guys for joining us today. Hopefully you like the race walkthrough. We'll be doing another one of these for the CSU Oval Crit that happened I don't know, 2 weeks after this. Just been a busy summer with, I don't know, what, racing and adult lives. So haven't had the opportunity to finish up these videos, but hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.